What's up, you guys? All in audio here. It's Jordan, and the last 11 hours have been crazy. So, as you all know, and even if you don't, Luka Doncic is a Laker. He was traded for Anthony Davis. I think they got a couple more pieces, a 2029 pick. Max Christie, yeah. They got Max Christie, and I think Jalen Safino. He went to the Utah Jazz. That don't matter. He got traded for what everybody is saying was a steal. Anthony Davis is an All-NBA player, a legend, but this is Luka we're talking about. A top 3 player in the league right now. One of the future GOATs of this generation. It's Luka Doncic, man. So everybody gave their instant reactions. I'm trying to give a little calm down reaction and look at the winners and losers of this trade, man. Because at first I was like, you're trading Luka away? Luka Doncic. The one that some people say is the next the next LeBron, the hair as the best player in the league, the guy who's supposed to win multiple titles. You're trading him away for Anthony Davis, basically, and a couple role players and a first-round pick. I think that was the most flagrant part of the trade for me is what they got for him, not that they just traded him. I think trading him was a little crazy. First of all, because they didn't shop him around. Reports say that teams did not get a call. They didn't shop him around. They didn't see who else was out there. And that led me to believe that Luka specifically wanted the Lakers and wanted to go to L.A. Reports are still saying that's not the case, though. Bill Simmons has said that Luka did not know about the trade and he did not request a trade. He was just as shocked as everybody else. So he did not request to go to the Lakers, and he was just as shocked as everybody else. The Mavs are saying that this trade is not because of Luka, but because they were concerned about his conditioning going forward. With what we know, it looks bad for the Mavs because that's just not enough to trade away Luka Doncic. And so I want to get into some of the winners and losers of this trade. But the initial reaction, as much as I'm trying to squint and see the Mavs' perspective, I just can't understand trading away the generational talent for a great elite player in Anthony Davis. But it's not the same as a guy who is much younger, one, and also a top 3-5 player over the next 10 years for a guy who's a top 10 player for the next maybe 3 years. It just doesn't make sense, even if you get some things defensively that you don't get with Luka, even if you get some matchups that you might like better with the current roster. It doesn't make sense with a guy who just took you to the finals last year. So I want to take a look at some of the winners and losers of this trade because I just don't understand it. First of all, the Mavs in the short term, I'm putting them in the winners column. Crazy me saying that after what I just said, but I'm saying in the short term. I think for this year, I am interested in seeing this team with Anthony Davis. Derek Lively's injured right now, but we can expect him to be back. Kyrie's been hooping all year. He's been dealing with some back problems, but I expect him to be ready come playoff time. If you look at the rest of this roster, they're deep now. They got Max Christie. Dang, I don't know why I was hard for me to say that. They have P.J. Washington. They have Gafford. They have Klay Thompson. They have wings. They have bigs. This is a big team with Kyrie as the main scorer now. And they have beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 3 times this year already, and they beat them in the Western Conference Finals last year to go to the finals. I am intrigued to see this team in a Western Conference that I think they can win out. If they can, it'll be close because I don't know how they'll look against OKC in the playoffs or even the Nuggets. But they've got a bunch of bigs now to go against Jokic. I would like to see this team this year make a title run. So I think in the short term, just this year, the Mavs are winners, but we'll come back to that. Lakers long term winners. You get a generational talent. The roster doesn't really make sense right now, but it doesn't matter. You got Luka Doncic in LA at that. He's going to be a superstar. People are going to want to come to LA to play with him. Man, you can't get anything better than that out this trade. Kyrie short term. I think Kyrie, if Kyrie is able to win a chip this year with this roster, I think that vaults him pretty high on the all-time list of guards. He's been left out of the NBA top 75. I think he's got opportunity to push into that and push up the ranking a lot. A lot of people feel like it's politics that left him out of that. You can't make that case anymore if he does something with this team, with Anthony Davis and this roster. Winners of this trade, Klay Thompson. I think they're going to ask Klay Thompson to shoot a lot more now that Luka's not on the team. And I don't think he has any problem with that. They added another defensive, and they not just another defensive big, but an elite defensive big, one of the best defenders in the league, and that should free up Klay Thompson to be more of the offensive focal point on this team. The NBA wins. First of all, from just the tickets and jersey sales and just content, Luka on the Lakers is crazy. That's just box office, man. Luka in LA is that should drive ratings up, and that leads me to one of my tinfoil hats is the NBA got their hands in this trade. Are we gonna catch them with their hands in the cookie jar on this one? Because Luka Doncic, first of all, was going to be eligible for like a supermax $345 million contract. He was with his original team. It would have been his first extension, but his extension would have been in the $350 million plus territory. He isn't eligible for that now that he's traded to a secondary team. So this could result in player contracts, the inflation of player contracts on the economic side being slowed down. But also, you gotta wonder this from the rating side, is this something that the league was keen to help orchestrate? So the league won in a big way, and you just gotta wonder, like, did they have their hands in this trade? Losers now. Potential loser, Anthony Davis. Why do I say that? Anthony Davis, couple weeks ago, I can't remember, had an interview where he said he wanted another big in LA. Kind of complained. He's been saying for a while he likes playing the 4, not the 5. And the Lakers responded in a big way, saying, "Get out of here, bro. We'll get you another big, but it's not gonna be in LA." And they sent him to Dallas. He got what he wanted. He's got Daniel Gafford. He's got Derek Lively potentially to play center. Why? So he can play 4 more. And he's got a team that's basically his. It's him and Kyrie, who are kind of 1A, 1B. Both have won championships as like the 2-ish type of players. And he's got a chance to win a title as like the main guy, or you know what I'm saying, or in a position where it's at least he's one of the main guys. There is no LeBron to be kind of the face. Well, you're probably wondering, you said, well, he's a potential loser. I think he's a potential loser because I don't trust him to have it in him. He gets injured a lot. Lately he has been healthy, so I'll give him that. But I got to see it before I believe it. And if he doesn't win with what he asked for, he asked for bigs. He's got bigs next to him. He is a 4 now. You know what I'm saying? Then I gotta put that as a negative mark on his legacy if he doesn't get it done with what he asked for. You got what you wanted, so go get it done. I think he's been put in a position where like you got what you asked for. So the Mavs long term, there is no way to look around this. This is an L for the Mavs long term. If they win a championship this year, can we say the deal was worth it? Sure. Especially if Luka doesn't win a championship. But long term, there's no way to say that they won this trade. Because even if they won a championship this year, AD and Kyrie are both in their 30s. In 3 to 4 years, they're going to be on the decline. And the Mavs have a 2029 Lakers pick out of this trade, which I can bet the Lakers are going to be pretty good in 2029 simply because they have Luka. They're going to be looking for a centerpiece within the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So the Lakers or the Mavs definitely lose long term in my opinion. LeBron James was one of the biggest losers of this trade. Why is that? Because they got rid of his rim protector, the main focal point of this defense. And while Luka is a elite offensive player, you got to wonder how the fit will be with LeBron James, who's ball dominant, and Luka, who's ball dominant, kind of play in some of the same spots, not all the same spots on offense, and kind of work inside out, driving in, kicking out to shooters. You got to wonder how they'll play off of each other. And you got to wonder how, even if LeBron is still the most popular player in terms of worldwide popularity, you gotta probably think that Luka's going to be the focal point of the organization now. He's the main concern. And you got to kind of wonder how that's going to play out. With LeBron, who's been kind of on his legacy tour the past couple of years, with him being on his way out, does this take the attention away from him? Does this take the concern away from him? And does this kind of get in his title hopes? Because I don't see the way this Lakers team is currently constructed leading to a chip anytime soon. So that would be my reason for saying LeBron is a loser. And my biggest loser, man, is Mavericks fans. I feel bad for them. They got their generational player taken from them out of nowhere. Literally just took them to the finals the year before, and he's gone. Just from watching your favorite player, let alone the things he could have won, he's gone. And it felt like it happened instantly from left field. There were no rumors. There were no trade talks. There was nothing. We just woke up and he was out of there. So, hey, man, shout out to Mavericks fans. We praying for y'all. But other than that, man, I gotta sit and try to play devil's advocate. What if Luka? What if the worst case scenario for Luka's? What if it's the worst case scenario for Luka's conditioning? Luka, we've seen some of the best of Luka. Like, he competes over these next three years up until he's 28, 29, and he doesn't age well. He has some good seasons where he's putting up numbers. He has some playoff runs, but doesn't win a title. But maybe when he's 30, he has the Kevin Love syndrome, and the best years were around the 24-ish, 25-ish era. What if that's the case? Is this trade just null and void? Like, both teams got what they could and moved on? I don't know. Did the Mavs move on at the high? Maybe. I don't know, because people have always comped Luka to LeBron. To me, I never really saw that. He always seemed more of some weird mix of James Harden to me, and a little Kevin Love-ish, simply because he just wasn't that athletic. He got rebounds in a Kevin Love way, played offensively, had the stop and starts, kind of like James Harden with the big body. The step backs, things like that. I am curious to see how his game ages. I am curious to see if he can win a championship with his style. And one thing about him is he's so ball dominant. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't really move. Doesn't do a lot off the ball. I've always been critical of whether you could win a championship with a Luka Doncic. And I lean towards you can. I don't know if it'll be a lot of championships with the way the NBA is constructed now, with teams like the OKC Thunder and the Celtics and eventually the Spurs, when they have so many shifty wings who can do it all, who can defend, who can score, who can handle the ball, who can shoot. It's gonna be hard for Luka to win in this type of NBA landscape, but it's not impossible. Especially if people want to come to LA now. If you put some elite defenders around him and an elite two-way scorer around him, would that be possible? I think so. And I think you would have to move on from LeBron sometime soon if you want to really get that done. But maybe not. If you could sign some people in the offseason. One thing to know before I get out of here, though, Luka's contract is about a year and a half before his player option comes up. So Luka could be a free agent next summer 2026. That is another wrench in all of this. If Luka is a free agent next year, and he communicated that, even though all the reports saying that's not what happened, that's not what he communicated, you can see why the Mavs were like, if we cannot retain you, we're going to try to get what we can right now and make a run this year. That is one of the few reasonings I can see for the Mavs going about this the way that they have, not trying to shop around. We need to make a move now so we can stay in playoff contention and make a run at the chip right now, because we know you're leaving and we don't think you're going to win a championship for us this year because you've been out so much, because you haven't been conditioning, and we know that you want to leave and not re-up on your contract. So, with that being said, man, the trade was crazy. I would give the trade, off the information we have, I have to give an F to the Mavericks. I got to give an A to the Lakers, because with the information we have, if you have no information that Luka was demanding to leave Dallas, you can't make that trade. You can't make that trade, and the Lakers can't say no. You just reset the Lakers. Lakers had nothing. They had some pretty basic picks. They had two aging superstars that weren't good, extremely good, but not good enough to win a chip. And they had a roster of solid role players, good to solid role players. And now they have a generational talent who can attract other stars. You have Austin Reeves still. You have Dalton Connect. You still have LeBron. And you have some other role players and a fan base that is probably the second biggest only to the Dallas Cowboys in the world. You have reset the Lakers in a way that Kobe and Shaq did, in a way that Will Chamberlain did and Kareem did and Magic did. The Lakers are an example of the rich getting richer, and they're back. So, everybody buckle in. LA's back.